Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy Cyber. So today I'm going to let you into a little secret in backend engineering. So, by the way, they don't teach you this at school. So, let's go. When you first look at modern backend engineering, it looks like magic. But today, I'm going to let you in on the grand secrets of the industry. The matrix isn't made of some hyper complex, terrifying code. The entire modern backend is literally just tiny, specialized tools handing things to each other basically, and it all revolves around one terrible piece of jargon called dependency injection. To understand it, we have to look at the biggest problem in web architecture. APIs are essentially goldfish. They are completely stateless. When you click a button on a website, the API wakes up, does its job, and immediately forgets you exist. Because APIs are fleeting instances in time, they can't hold a permanent connection to the database. If an API tried to stay connected forever, the database would get overwhelmed by thousands of overlapping users and basically crash. To fix this, we use the session model. Well, most database systems have something called a connection pool. A connection pool is basically already connected database connections. And let's imagine that this already connected database is a telephone line. So we keep physical telephone lines open in the background permanently. Every endpoint request gets its own temporary session, a private booth, and the moment it needs to talk to the database, that booth is assigned to an open line. Make the call, save the data, hang up, and the line goes straight back, ready for the next user. But here's the catch. Let's imagine that right now every single API endpoint builds its own database connection from scratch on every single request. That's a chef leaving the kitchen, driving to the farm, picking up vegetables, driving back for every single salad that he makes. That is slow, messy, repeated 1,000 times per night. So now let's change the roles. The chef writes vegetables on a sticky note, the framework sees it, pulls what's needed from the pantry, and hands everything over right before he starts cooking. The chef never stops, he only cooks. That's dependency injection in a nutshell. In code, the thing being injected, that's the dependency being injected into an API endpoint is a database session, one that quietly borrows its connection from a connection pool behind the scenes. Remember I said every database system has a connection pool. When we write sessions equals depends parenthesis get underscore session, we are handing a sticky note to the framework. We are saying, hey, before you run this API endpoint, I need a ready to use database session. Go get it for me and inject it into my code so I can use it. And here's what the actual code really looks like. Notice the API gets handed a safe, ready to use session. It doesn't touch passwords. It doesn't manage connection strings, it just asks for data. And when it's done, cleanup happens automatically. The line goes back to the switchboard, ready for the next call. And yeah, that's the ultimate grand secret. All of backend programming mechanics is basically dependency injection. Fast API, Spring Boot, .NET Core, they're all massive webs of it. Instead of one giant messy file that tries to do everything, we write tiny specialized tools and let the framework inject them into each other exactly when they are needed. Once you see the matrix, you can't unsee it. Hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.